Alright, yo, what's up everyone? Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd. I'll jump into my trade review for today, Wednesday, May 17th, 2023. Today was a good day. I did have a few wins on the minis and a few wins on the micros. I did have a couple little losses, but overall my winners were more than my losses. So I ended up with almost 150 MNQ points, a little bit less, maybe 140 MNQ points. But it was thanks to, some of the mini plays that I had. So today, the ranges, they just told a really nice story. I'll start with ES, and basically, we held, during the morning, we were around here, the value area, below the value area high of this range. So kind of around here, like this little range here. And then we broke through and we got to the POC of this 21217 range right up here, got right to the POC and then pulled back from there. This would have been a good play. I was kind of watching it, but I didn't take it. And that's one thing I'll go over. I think my discernment between playing ES to the short side, because it was relatively weaker, because it wasn't that much weaker, but if we look at the ratio charts, near the end of the day, they were kind of doing similar things, but I think I felt XLV was a bit weaker. It wasn't at its highs, so that's why I thought about, looking to ES for the short. And yeah, overall, I just felt like NQ was, really gaining today. So ES did provide some good shorts, and I think I could just improve a little bit on that, on picking the short name to go short and the long name to go long. But I did play NQ quite a bit to the long side today. ES got right to that POC right here at 417975, close to 4180 psychological. And did we get to 4180? No, we got to 4179. NQ, similar story. All right, let me go to the hourlies on ES as well, because the hourlies told a good story. Initially, we got below this. I have to find a better way to see these dates. ES got below this 5859 range, but didn't find acceptance under it. So this range right here, we got below it, got back into it, and I think we back tested. Yeah, we held this value area low here, and got up to the value area low of this range, oscillated around, and then got a big move from there. If we go to the 1 minute, I bet the 1 minute was, we popped above this range. Let me go to the 1 minute again. Yeah, popped above this range, held it as a back test, and then got a nice move up. So that was ES on the hourlies, told a good story as well. And NQ, we'll go to NQ on the daily. I'll try to be better about not jumping around too much, but NQ, we got back into this 8.3 at 8.1122 range. We broke through the POC. On the morning, we were kind of here at the lower end of this range, at the value closer to the value area low. And I wrote in my rundown, it'd be, buyers should be looking to get here, and it would be notable if they didn't, and they did exactly that. They got there and then some. So maybe tomorrow buyers look to get to the value area high, or maybe we oscillate around the POC, we shall see. But buyers are looking good on NQ. And the hourlies just told a really nice story today for NQ. We couldn't get acceptance below this 8.322, 8.922 range right here. We popped back into this 8.21, 8.22 from 2022. And if we go to a shorter time frame, it was just really nice how these ranges held. Couldn't find acceptance below here. Popped back into this range, initially rejected, held the value area low, or couldn't even get to it here. Popped back above, held it as a back test, couldn't quite get to it, and then we had a big move from there. So I didn't take any of these plays. I was kind of working, and it's okay. I wasn't watching it at the time, but that was the move I was looking for, to get to this 13.597 range on NQ, or 13.600 psychological, which was just a few points higher. But yeah, I did get a few points. I played NQ short, and then in hindsight, I realized I could have played ES short. I think ES was the better short later in the day. But yeah, that's what I was looking at. That was, I went over a lot of this in my morning prep, in my morning rundown. And with that, I'll go into the trades I took today. So let's go to NQ. Most of my trades were on NQ today. And let's see here. A lot of nice ranges today. Yeah, my first trade, I do like this trade. It was just a quick scalp. It was playing off of, let's see, we had the open right around here. Yeah, the open right here. And I saw we got to the value area high, couldn't get acceptance below the open and the overnight high, bounced again to the value area high, again to the overnight high in the open, got above the open, held the overnight high. And then once I saw we held the overnight high and got above the open, I marketed in here and putting on 5 points risk. So my stop would have been like right here under the overnight high, and just a quick scalp close to the value area high. So that was about 10 points, I think. Yeah, about 10 points here on the minis for NQ. It was 2 contracts and it was about 10 points, which started off the morning well. And then I had a nice short. So after this, I played with the micros because I didn't want to give back the gains on the minis. So I just played the micros and very small contracts because I didn't have a lot of conviction yet in this play. And looking at it now, let me see, 844. If we go to QQQ, yeah, I could have anticipated maybe a lower high initially, which is what we got. Let me see here. Yeah, yesterday we had the pullback. It was kind of, like an hourly lower high. We held the previous day close and then bounced from there. But we did have a pullback initially. And at this point, let me see if I was looking at any hourly ranges. Let me go to the 1 minute here. And yeah, let's see, 1 to 2, it was right here. Yeah, so we were on the hourly. We had just rejected from the value area high of this 822, 821, 822, 22 range. We had just rejected from the value area high, so I thought we could rotate back to the value area low, and that was the exact play. That's what I had set up. Just watching this, looked for the lower high off the POC, which coincided with the overnight high in the open, because I saw we got to the value area high of this range and the value area high of the day, which it kind of coincided. And once we got below the POC, I looked for the 1 minute lower high off the overnight high in the open. Once I saw we couldn't get much acceptance above the open, so I went short here. My stop would have been around 13,527 up here, and I got risk free here. My target was the value area low here of this range, this 521, 822, this 821, 822 range at 13. It was at 13,502 or 503 around there, and I cut it at 13,505. Just front ran it a little bit, but got risk free here and then sold the other contract here. This was only 2 contracts on the micros, so it was a very small win. And I think I just, I don't know, maybe I didn't need to do that. I could have used 4 contracts here, and I don't know, for some reason I didn't have full conviction in the trade because it's early in the morning and I'm just not sure. And so I just decided to play with really small contracts. And I'm trying to gauge my conviction with my contract size. And that's something that I'm trying to work into my trading. And it's just a matter of learning what trades I think are high conviction. And I think over time, I'll start to develop that a bit more. And maybe I'll put on maybe a mini or a micro or 4 micro contracts. But here I only put on 2 micro contracts. And a decent win, a win is a win. It added to the wins on the day, so I'll definitely take that. But after that, we held the value area low here and the overnight low on NQ almost to the tick, or we couldn't quite get to the overnight low. I could have paid more attention to this actually. We couldn't even test the overnight low, and then buyers just bounced from there. This would have been a good entry off the PDC. Then playing off this little range. I'll make it a bit bigger so it's more visible. But yeah, playing off of this range here, I'll draw it out so it's easier to see. Just this little sideways range right here, playing right here, making a play once we back tested it here. That would have been a nice play, or waiting for the back test and then entering at the POC. That could have been a nice play as well. Hoping to get to that larger target of that 13,600 target, and an entry there, making an entry like here, 13,487. That's more than 100 points to get to that target. So it's pretty aggressive, or like pretty. The waiting to get to that target, I think, would be kind of aggressive, because once you get risk free, you literally have to not watch the charts the entire day and just say, okay, we either get there or I get stopped out with no risk. And yeah, so that could have been a nice play. I didn't quite take it. I think at this point, I'm not sure why I didn't take it. Yeah, I don't really know why I didn't take it. It's a good question. Could have taken this trade or taken this trade. But just overthinking it. I think it's because at that time, let's see, 908. Yeah, XLF was still pulling back a little bit, or just started its bounce, and XLV was just really weak. And yeah, NQ was just starting to bounce. So I didn't know if XLF and XLV were going to bounce, and if NQ was going to, I just didn't know. And I thought, I wanted to see more from the bulls. I wanted to see them get above the open. And I think that's reasonable, right? Like, why? I think this is aggressive and it would have worked, like entering here. But for me, I just like to see buyers prove it a bit more. If we go to the QQQ on the hourlies, we did hold. We held the previous day close in the hourly pivot, same as the futures here. But yeah, something for me to look at. Maybe if I can put on four micro contracts here. I don't know if I play with the minis yet. But after we got above the open, I think that's when I could have been maybe a bit more aggressive, playing off some ranges. But yeah. So yeah, I'll go over my next trades after that. Let's see. So this was a short. Yeah. So yeah, this was actually something that I kind of like that I did. So basically, once we got to the overnight high, we just basically V-shaped back to the overnight high. And I told myself, I really want that short, because we just V-shaped. It was like a 5-minute stair step, no consolidation, straight to the overnight high. And I set up my sell limits and everything, and I thought maybe sellers front run this because it's a really good play. Like, we literally, if we go to the 5-minute chart, 5-minute, it was like a 5-minute stair step straight into the overnight high, straight up V shape. 5-minute stair step, and we didn't break it till after we got above the open and the overnight high. But I just thought, it was a good short. Like, sellers should be looking to step in for at least a 5-minute lower high initially, and I can get a quick scalp maybe. And if I had that mindset, I could have just cut my full trade here, which I should have. But I entered here. And this is all micros at this point, and I think I'm just playing with 2 contracts on some of these plays. So I entered. Yeah, I know what I did. Actually, no, I did that on the next play. I entered 2 contracts here. I sold half here, and I got stopped out my other contract here. And what I was thinking during this time is, sellers haven't proven anything yet, and buyers are just grinding higher. And I did take another short here, another attempt, and I kind of wish I didn't. I really was thinking, buyers are proving more here. They just V-shaped. What, sellers haven't convincingly stepped in yet. And, at this point I was thinking sellers have to at least get below this range, and buyers just held it perfectly. I could have went long here, recognizing that buyers just had a big move up. I could have went long and, could have got risk free and rode that up. Actually, I would have got stopped out here, but But yeah, so I went short here, close to the overnight high, and got risk free. And then I think I might have sold early because I just didn't like what I was seeing from sellers. And we did pull back again. And then I went short again here. Once I saw we couldn't get acceptance above the open, I went short here. I didn't quite get risk free, or maybe did I sell a contract 936? No, I didn't get risk free here. So I bought 2 contracts here, and I told myself if we get up to the overnight high or close to it or closer to it, I'll make another entry. So 2 contracts here, 2 contracts here, and a full stop here. So took a loss here. This gave back some profits on the day. On the day. And then this was 9:30, 9:41. Yeah, then I went short here off the open, or once we got below the open, I went short here. No, I went long. Sorry. I went long. Yeah, I went long off the open, and we just pulled back a little bit more before then. I think I got stopped out close to the low here and just took a small loss here. 941. Yeah, and I think I wouldn't have gotten stopped out of the long. I got scared out of the trade, and I think my stop was like down here maybe. It would have been, see my entry. Yeah, my stop would have been down here, and I wouldn't have gotten stopped out, but I sold right at the low, just because I didn't like what I was seeing from buyers either. I flip-flopped a little bit too much there. That was 4 contracts. So with these 2 trades, I gave back quite a bit, almost 50 MNQ points, but I was still up on the day, so I wasn't, at that point I just told myself pump the brakes a little bit. And then I did take a couple of trades here. After we got above the open, and this trade was off developing value. So essentially we had this little sideways range, and I've been noticing this play, and I think I might add it to my playbook, where I see a sideways range, and either I can play off the value area low, or if we get up back above the POC and hold it, I can usually get a few points to the upside or downside after that. So I entered here once I saw we held the POC a few times, and it's very subtle, it's very nuanced. You just got to pay attention, like our sellers cracking the POC, and I just saw it hold a few times, and we got to hold, and then a green candle up. So I entered here and got risk free here, and then I saw the pullback, didn't give me a lot of conviction, and I just sold another contract there. So that was let's see, that was four contracts here, and just got a few points. This was like 10 MNQ points, which I'll take. It's a little win. And then after that, let's see, I made one more trade. This was at 10. I played MES. I think this might have been a mistake. Why did I play MES long? But I played MES long right here. I took a small loss on MES. I don't really know what I was thinking here, to be honest. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think I was watching the sideways action, and I just thought we could hold it. So I entered long here, and then I think I just cut it early. I'm not sure. Yeah, looking now, I'm not sure what I was thinking. We were under the overnight high. We had this range here. We were pulling back. So I went long here and got stopped out, or just exited quickly because I didn't like the trade. Not too sure what I was thinking there, to be honest. Let's see here. Let me go to the 1 minute on the hourly. Yeah, it was right here. I thought we could hold a POC here, but even then, it's not that great. I'd rather use this 1 minute range to then play off like the POC to then look for the move up. That would have been a better play. And I think NQ was a stronger indice, so not sure why I went long on ES. Yeah, not too sure about that play. It's kind of a strange one, but maybe it'll come to me as to why I took it. But after that, I'm working, and it was just really nice, like how NQ got there. So I did see, no, I was working at, I'd start work like at 10. I'm in Central Time. So, we bounced above the open, like we got up, held the overnight high, and couldn't get below the overnight high. Then we bounced, held the open, got a nice bounce from there to the regular trading hours high. Then to me, this was like a liquidation break, taking out like weaker hands who just, are selling. And and where we stopped right here at this little sideways range, right here that I had, drawn up initially on the way up. We didn't even get to the value area high of that range, bounced, and then this would have been a really, really nice play. Right here. Yeah, right here. So we had a little bit of sideways action. Let me draw it out a little bit more. Right here. It'll probably be similar. Yeah, it was fairly, POC is a little bit higher. But yeah, we had kind of that liquidation break popped up, and then we held the back test of this sideways range on the way up for NQ. Yeah, right here. Okay. We held it here, and then we got the bounce going for the rest of the day. So I saw this. I was working. I didn't make any plays after this, but again, we got above the open, oscillated a little bit around the value area high from yesterday, got to the regular trading hours high, pulled back, held the value area high, couldn't even test it or get to it. And again, this would have been a really nice play here, playing off this range. If I draw out the volume profile or the fixed range, this would have been a really nice play. So many, right? If I think I might have taken this if I was watching it. Like there were so many good attempts here, like playing off this range. Like I don't even have to enter here, here, or here. I can wait till we crack back above it and then look for the back test. And I could have gotten the back test here at 13,547, at least to get to the regular trading hours high. That would have gotten me risk free, entering here. Yeah, I would have gotten risk free like up here, and then, could have left the rest to get to that target of 13,600. We just headed straight there. So yeah, that would have been a nice play. I didn't grab it. I think I was just focused on work. But yeah, no, I was focused on work. It's okay. So yeah, just watched the whole move, and that was fine. We just headed up even beyond that 14,600 level, and then after this, I'm recognizing that bulls are looking a little bit tired, and the play would have been ES again. ES is right at that POC from 2-1, 217.23, and ES just had a really nice range to play off of. Lamont even mentioned it in the Q&A. It was this range here. Like this would have been the sell for sure. And NQ was just, it was a little more erratic, and it was, it was stronger, I would say. But ES was just like, that's just kind of picture perfect in a way. Like get below it, back test, enter here, risking 2 points. My stop is like up here. Would have been just a really nice trade. And then, get risk free, or even just to get like to the value area low of this range. That's almost 10 points, maybe 8 points, right? Like that's about 8 points from here. Even 5 points is good, right? Like if it's on a minis, let's see, 75 to the POC, like that's plenty. That's 5 points and maybe 2 contracts. That's, or 1 contract, get risk free after 2 points, and then so maybe 7 points, right, in total. That's still a worthwhile trade relative to the risk. Risking 2 points, and I can draw it up just for fun. Risking 2 points right here to get, let's say, the POC. That's still a 1 to 3, almost a 1 to 3. And if, feeling like the value area low, that's almost a 1 to 4, right? We could say 1 to 2.5 and maybe 1 to 3.5, but still a worthwhile trade there. But I did go short on NQ because I saw, NQ we got up there, then we had this little range, and I think we were at an hourly level. Yeah, we were at the value area high of, let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, I drew out this larger range here too, which I think gave me a little bit more conviction on the 1 minute. But essentially, no, this was before then. But yeah, I had that 5 second, and yeah, I was using it as a reference and just, saying like bulls are looking a little bit tired. We're overbought on quite a few time frames, even though on days like these that doesn't matter as much. But I felt like it was cheap to find out if this trade was going to work. And I did play with the minis because I think I had a little more conviction in this trade. So I entered a mini here. My stop would have been above here, above the value area high. And I got risk free here. And then I saw, like, I was looking to get to this range down here. And I saw we weren't quite getting there. So I just cut it here it would have been like a 6 points. Yeah, like around 7 points on on NQ on the minis. So this is 7 points, which is definitely a worthwhile trade, and that had me pretty nice on the day. So that's where I made close to 140 MNQ points, or or it would have been 10, 15, yeah, about 14 NQ points, which is still good. Like that's a really good day for me, for sure. But it just shows me like the leverage of minis. But yeah, that mini play, had me nice and green. And then I did take one more trade near the end of the day playing with micros. And I'm not sure why I cut it. I think I just realized I might have been over trading. I wasn't really that tuned into the market. But once we had this big break below this range here, that held as support here, once we got below it, I entered here. I could have waited for the back test, a clean back test. Entered here, but entered here, sat through a little bit of red. My stop was, 33. My stop was like around here, above the POC. And then once we pulled back and I saw we weren't getting the clear break right away, I exited here. And that's just, I don't know, that's kind of amateurish, where I get scared out of the trade because I'm not seeing the smash right away. And I have to realize I'm on the 5 second chart. So if it doesn't happen right away, that's kind of okay. We had one little move up and then we got down. I think my target was this range down here. And I think I would have cut it at, 6, I think it was 13,625 right above the range. But we got even a bit lower at like 13,620. And honestly, I think my target was 13,600. I thought we would get back to the POC here, but I probably would have cut it earlier just because buyers were in control most of the day. And yeah, after that, I didn't trade. There was a lot of good setups after that. I didn't trade because I just felt like, buyers are just going to oscillate up here for the rest of the day, and I don't want to get caught up in the wrong short or the wrong long. But we did get back above the range. This would have been a beautiful play right off the value area high to get to this range. That's about 20 points, right? Like that's really nice to just for that play. So yeah, I think I'll start to get more conviction in my plays, the more I trade. But yeah, again, we held this range here, back to this range, got below it again, held the value area high, same exact play as here, bounced back up. That's, 20, 20, 20, that's 60 NQ points, like just playing between these ranges. And that's the fun of it. One day, I might nail some of these ranges like this, but that's not necessarily my goal, because that would mean I'm more in a mode of like chasing and or being really aggressive, and maybe I'll get there, the more experience and the more I do this, where I'm just like, I'm just gonna play these ranges, oscillate. Like it's not likely sellers are gonna take over at the end of the day when they haven't, and we're just looking for like hourly higher lows, and I'm not even sure if we got the hourly higher low. Let me just check real quick. yeah, we did get a quick hourly higher low near the or an hourly pivot here and just oscillated. But yeah, buyers were just looking at 15-minute higher lows. So, the chances of us oscillating here at the end, I think were higher rather than, sellers just taking over at the end of the day. And plus we're above that daily POC on NQ. So yeah, I had the right idea in mind, and it just, because I was up on the day, right? Like those are the type of things where I don't want to overtrade and get caught on the wrong trade. But maybe like because from experience, like I had that thought, like we're probably going to oscillate up here for the rest of the day. It's near the end of the day. Like bulls are probably not going to get another leg up. Sellers are not going to take over here. So we could have just like an EQ oscillation, maybe between, these two ranges that held as support, held as resistance, held as resistance here, and just playing, being cautious with it, right? Waiting till we break the range and entering here for the long. Here for the short, I'm not sure if I would have entered here. This is a bit aggressive because we got under it, and maybe I could have been aggressive here, and my stop would have been, yeah, that's not bad, 56. My stop would have been up here. If I wanted to be real aggressive on this like 5-second lower high to get down here. But then again, we get below it, didn't find acceptance, get back above, enter at the value area high. My risk is if I enter here, my stop is down here, works out, get here again, back test the range, enter here to get to the value area high here. So yeah, maybe one of these days, like if I'm up on the day, I'll just play with maybe like 2 contracts just to, if I have this thesis and my experience is kind of telling me something, I don't think there's any harm in playing with small contracts, and after one loss, just cut it and be like, okay, tried it. But, I don't think there's any harm in maybe like if I'm able to recognize this and think that we might oscillate near the end of the day, just, put on small size and see if it works out. Like 60 points on MNQ, even on one contract, is still worthwhile, where I'm not putting on a lot of risk. I'm putting on on 2 contracts, I'm putting on 10 points, very, very small risk. So yeah, just to play around with it and see, like, just use what I've learned to potentially benefit from it. So yeah, that was the day for today. Really nice how it played out. In hindsight, I kind of no, not really. I don't have any regrets or regrets. I recognized I was working, and I wasn't gonna shift and try to make a play where I wasn't fully tuned in. But the levels played out really well. We did get to that 13,600 level, and then some. We got to 1360, 13,669 right up here, and then just oscillated up here. So yeah, a few improvements for today for me are, knowing when to play the weaker all sectors were kind of strong. So, to say one sector was kind of weaker, yeah, NQ was kind of the stronger sector, but I could have played ES short, later in the day rather than looking for NQ for the short. Again, it was just like a clear range up here. We held it here, and just could have got a nice short here. Where NQ, I'm looking at the lower time frame because I feel NQ moves a bit quicker. It has more, I guess, dramatic moves or more oscillated moves, and also I'm on a shorter time frame. It's, I'm not gonna say it's not as easy because I did get a nice short and I could have held it. I think let's see, 13. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten stopped out. Would have gotten the short to this range had I held. But ES was it was nice and clean. Enter here to get to this range down here, really simple. So yeah, it's just a matter of knowing how these different indices move and having the mind to pivot and be like, okay, XLV was the weaker sector. Maybe ES will be maybe a cleaner short, and I can look to that. So always keeping that in mind, relative strength and weakness, and which name do I think might pull back first, or if the setup is there and it looks a bit cleaner, I can pivot. So yeah, that was my trade review for today. Just really nice day, some clean levels, nice ranges on the way up, and near the end of the day, some nice ranges. value told a nice story. The open, the overnight high told a nice story. Regular trading hours high told a nice story. And yeah, just the POC, PDC told a nice story. Value area low, overnight low, we held it, really well. Just a lot of like really nice, technical TA today with the levels kind of being respected and things like that. And we did get the liquidation break, but right to a range. And then we popped right above another range and held a back test. And it was just a clean look there. So yeah, just going to keep learning, keep gaining experience, and going to come back again, do my morning prep tomorrow, nice and early, and get ready for the trading day tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, buyers are looking good. XLV had a nice bounce. XLF, nice day today for the bulls or the buyers. And we shall see. We shall see. And one thing that Dalton reminds me of is like, I don't know if it's like that there's new buyers in the market. I just don't think that there's real selling in the market. And so if there's no real selling yet, then we're just going to grind higher is what I feel. And I'm ready for, some bigger money sellers to like just step in at any point, or some new selling to step in for maybe some more significant monthly or weekly consolidation. But at this point, if there's no real selling in the market, and there's no news or any catalyst, I think buyers are looking just fine. And again, that can shift at any moment, but that's the way I'm taking it, one day at a time, until, sellers, I think, convincingly prove something. And again, that can happen any day, but, buyers are looking good. NQ is, if we look at NQ divided by ES, I think NQ is just, that's what buyers want to see, right? Look at that. I can't draw in here. Okay. Even the weekly, it's just, but also looking here, we do have some resistance up here. So gonna keep an eye on that. I can't draw on these charts. Okay. Yeah. This is the NQ divided by ES chart. So it'll be interesting if, buyers have a little bit of problem here and NQ starts showing some relative weakness. But if XLV and XLF start gaining, then it could be rotation and buyers could still be okay if NQ starts some consolidation, some maybe weekly consolidation or monthly. Let me look here. No, we did have a monthly higher low. Buyers are looking good. We did have a weekly higher low. We shall see. That's all I got for today. Thanks everyone for watching. I know it's a longer one today. Just had a lot to say and just really kind of immersed in the TA and the levels and watching them, how they kind of work and play out and where I can improve and things like that, and the nuances and what I'm watching and how I've watched the day kind of, go, how I've watched the day progress with the different ranges and where we held and where, buyers held, where sellers held and all that. So yeah, I think I'll only keep kind of gaining experience and improving. That's all I got for today. I know it's a long one. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next trade review. Thank you. Bye.